So, hello everyone, and welcome back to our podcast, Capturing the game within the game. I'm your host, Brady Spenfelner, and I'm joined here with my co-host, Desmond Jones. In today's episode, we have a wonderful opportunity to be talking to a professional basketball player and Virginia native, Charles Baines. Charles has the opportunity to play overseas in countries such as Spain, Lithuania, Australia, just to name a few of the ones he's been. Without further ado, we'd like to give a warm welcome to Charles Baines.
What's up? Hello, world. Hello, world. How y'all guys doing?
We're doing good today. So, just to get us started off, for our listeners and viewers, listening to us right now, just give us a little bit of background about yourself and like your upbringing and what made you want to get in the realm of basketball.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the Eastern Shore, of Virginia. I'm a small town. Grew up. I have a huge family. My grandmother and grandfather had 19 kids. So um, my cousins, like we always was at my grandmother's house playing like basketball and whatever. And for the most part, I was the one that always not getting picked. They was all good. So and they was always winning. They was always, and I was always the one watching, or the last one to be picked. But because I lived with my grandmother, when they left, I would sit outside and still work on my game. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, one day, I'm not gonna be the last one to get picked. I'm not gonna be that one, the last one. Years go by, and still same thing still happening. But I grew a little bit, got a little bit taller, and I think I beat one of my cousins, and it hit me like, oh man, Charles, you got a little bit better. But I didn't, as some people they get a little bit better and they think to themselves like, oh man, I've done something, or all right, that's cool, that's enough. But I'm thinking to myself like, man, I got a lot more cousins I got to beat. It's a lot more that I have to beat. And the best one, I'm like, yo, man, he getting looked at by colleges, and he's he's the like top one. So basketball was like a family thing. All summer long, that's all we did. From I'm talking about when that sun come up, grandma like, yo, outside. When that sun till that sun comes down, even after the sun go down, we we still outside. And it got to the point where my grandfather he put night lights outside so that we ain't had to come in at nighttime, so we can still see the rim. And then that got to the point where grandma made us come in. You know, you know what I mean. So as I got older, I started playing on like little rec leagues and whatever. But by sixth grade, I made the middle school team, and I was a captain or whatever. I wasn't much of a scorer or anything. Never was that until later on in my career. But I was just always a guy who worked harder than anybody else. So no matter what it was, no matter what we did, I always was first in it. Whether it was suicides, whether we're just going to get some water, no matter what it was, I made sure that I was going to be the first one there. You know, so it just was my work ethic to always be the first one there and the last one to leave. So if coach said to be there at 5 o'clock, I'm gonna be there way before 5, maybe 4:30, maybe. But what I did was, as I looked on the list and I saw the names of the people, and I didn't see mine. So I went back home and I said I got to get better, and I just spent more hours outside, more hours, just trying to become a better basketball player. Um, whoever was playing, was it the NBA? I was watching it. I spent multiple hours just trying to learn, just trying to get better. And that next year, I came back, eighth grade, I made it, and I was actually named the captain. But when I got to high school, it really got even deeper because now they have AAU basketball and this basketball. It had so much basketball. So I started playing like travel basketball, but we was doing that when since I was like maybe in fifth grade with the same group of guys. So as we got older, like that same group, we stayed together. And by the time we got to high school, like it was like in sync, it was like, we was a team to be reckoned with, like in the state of Virginia. Um, so for me, my only job was to whoever the best player was, that's who I guarded. So if somebody dropped average 30 points tonight, you'd be lucky if you get 15. And that's just was my mindset about it. And my coach, he was always, Chuck this and that. This is I knew my role, so no matter who you are in life and with basketball, if you learn one role, if you learn your role, then if you master that, then the coach can trust you and give you a little bit more responsibilities. So throughout my career, I just learned to master my role. So if he want me to guard this guy, that's my job. If he's not supposed to score these many 30 points, if he get 15 tonight, he'll be lucky. So everybody that we played against, I made sure that their best player was who I had to guard. So I spent most of my time frustrating other people's best players. I wasn't much of a scorer. I didn't care about that. That wasn't my thing. Long as we were winning and I'm doing my job to play defense, I was cool. And we winning. So it really didn't matter to me. So even as I got older, 11th grade, but 12th grade hit me again. When I got to 12th grade, I didn't play as much. I didn't play. I went from starting to now not playing as much. So in that time, I wanted to quit. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. But at that same time, I'm still the first one to practice. I'm still working hard as if, I'm still starting. I'm still playing the whole game. I'm still working the same. If you came that you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell any difference. You know, you couldn't tell I wasn't a cap. You couldn't tell any difference. I still did exactly what I was supposed to do. And my principal, I went to him and said, "Man, I'm done. I'm quitting." And he said, "You're not." He said, "I'm not letting you." He said, "I understand some things it don't look fair. It's not fair, but life ain't fair." And I'm like, man, I'm quitting, man. I can't do this no more. You know, he's like, "You're not quitting. I'm not letting you." I was like, all right, yes, sir. All right. And I stuck it out. He said, it'll pay off. It'll pay off after a while. You know, it'll pay off. So after time passed, we had not my 12th grade year. Everything had basketball finished, everything done. So they had like this big banquet that we have for like all the athletes and things of that nature. So we had this big banquet, and they're giving out all awards and sitting there, but everybody wants this major award. It's like the athlete of the year. And everybody wants that. Like everybody wants that one award to be the athlete of the year. That's it. They don't care about if everybody. That's the only award that everybody wants. And me personally, I wasn't even thinking about it. So they calling out, giving out different awards, and at the end, they said, "Well, our athlete of the year is Charles Baines." And I stopped and I looked, and I'm like, "What? How could that be me?" So, and as I walk up, my principal he was standing there, the same person who told me I couldn't quit. Um, he said, "Remember, I told you, everything will work out." So even as I went to go to college, and I went to go to a junior college, and I get there, I have to start back over from the bottom again. Nobody cares who you are, so you start from the bottom again. Same work ethic, but this time it's twice as I intensified. So now you get the opportunity to get to the gym whenever you want. Shoot machine, you get access to some other things. So here, I found this is my role still to play defense or whatever. But now he said, "Man, you have to give us something else. You have to give us someone the offensive end." So man, I spent the whole summer. I'm talking about shooting thousands of jumpers, threes, thousands of. I'm talking about till my hands hurt. And I would also in the gym, like where everybody else going out to a party, whatever. They would always see me going to the gym. Even to this day, some of my classmates still they be like, "Chuck, remember when we used to see you? Like we would go out, you be heading to the gym." I said, "Yeah." Or they'd be getting up, and I'll be already just coming from the gym. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's just a thing about work ethic for me, and I try to help other people and understand no matter how gifted you are, no matter how talented a person is, it's only allowed to take you so far. And one thing that can outdo talent is hard work. And most people really don't understand what hard work is. Some people do things when they feel like it, or when they say, "Oh, well, it's today I feel like doing it. Tomorrow I don't." Well, if that's the way you feel about a thing, you'll never accomplish that what you set out to accomplish. Well, it's been many a days where I don't feel like doing none of this. I don't feel like shooting. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like waking up at 5 a.m. every morning. But your feelings, they don't matter then. Once you make a commitment to something, you try to, if you really want to see it through, then you have to do everything required of it. So as I'm in my junior college, I'm doing everything that I could, working, just trying to learn more about the game. And another coach comes there that actually played, and he would always tell me, he said, "Chuck, you're the best player on this team," but I'm not even playing. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I'm like, I'm not. He said, you the best player on this play." He said, "All right, you'll see." I'm like, "I'm not even playing." So he would literally take me by myself. We would be working out or doing this or doing that. And he would just always tell me. And then later on, I see myself getting a little bit better. So then after my 2 years there, I went to another school. And here is where I learned another level of hard work. So everywhere I've been, I always was the harder worker on my team. But here, this is the first time I ever had somebody else who worked just as hard as me. Just as hard as me. And when I met somebody who worked just as hard as me, I actually got excited. I actually was like, "Yo, this is cool," because it's cool to work out by yourself. That's cool. But when you have somebody else who want to wake up early in the morning and just as motivated, just as thrilled, just as you are, it makes it fun.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes it fun. He knows more than I know, so now I can learn. So I'm in here like I went from actually watching the game of basketball. So now a lot of people who watch basketball and never played it, they just watch it. But now as I watch basketball, I don't watch it like everybody else watch it. Because with him, I watched so many tapes and so many films, and we would stop here, stop that, and break down this piece and that piece, and who was open here and who was open there and what could he done? How did he score? How did that person get open? So now it's a different thing. So now you're not watching basketball really, but you're watching inside the game.
Yep.
Yeah. So from that point, man, my game went to a whole different level. So actually, man, I'm I get in for a few minutes, I hit 2 or 3 threes, come out, and I'm like, "Yo, man, it's starting to click."
Yeah.
But even then, I wasn't, now I'm a 3-point shooter. Okay, cool. That's one more thing added. So it's all about trying to perfect your craft and work on different things, whatever level you get to. I mastered that, so now how can I master this? I mastered that, so now how can I master something else? And each time, each place I go, I try to master something new. So that way your game is never stagnant. I went from just playing defense to now shooting threes, to now actually trying to be a point guard, to now doing a lot of stuff that I never thought I would be able to do. But now it's coming full circle.
Absolutely. I'm still stuck on the fact that you had 19 brothers and sisters.
My grandmother had 19 kids.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on that.
Yeah.
Of my family, my dad's side, he had 16 brothers and sisters, and so like I hear about them big families, I'm just like, yo, only imagine y'all food bill, y'all utility bill, how y'all slept in the bed, because I know it was at least 3 or 4 of y'all at least in one.
Yeah, me and my cousins, we was all on the floor. All in the forest.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And then just to go back on your defense, like your defense was your offense. If you if you could stop the other person from scoring, that is your offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
Brady, go
really
ahead,
what
jump in, man.
No, I love all this right now. It's just the upbringing that we're hearing from you, and just from you're growing up and just trying to be better every day. And I do like how you brought
Mm-hmm.
that point, how the podcast is the game within the game. And you brought that up with you and the friend that you were in school with, always working harder, and you
Mm-hmm.
started watching basketball games, and you were studying the game within the game. So then it takes a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
aspect to it. And I just love how you incorporated, like low key incorporated it into our podcast. And I kind of caught on and was like, I see what he's doing here. It's like I love everything we're hearing so far.
Yeah, I'm taking those to my head. And I'm like, yo, me and Charles, I feel him just because the fact that he's always working on his craft, trying to master something that's going to help him take him to the next level. And you can't ever progress in life if you don't never learn what's in front of you, or
Yeah.
learn whatever
Yeah.
that's right there in front of you to take care of. So and just be able to put in the motivation to work hard every day, despite if there's anyone around you or if you have
Yeah.
someone around
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
And
fun.
you got self-driven. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to borrow some of that, like some like Space Jam powers, and take a little bit of it.
Self-motivated, man. That's that's one thing I watched from guys like Kobe. Um,
Yeah.
you have to be self-driven. You have to be, but self-driven is not really about yourself. There's a
Yeah.
greater reason why you do what you do.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
said people say they're self-motivated, it's not necessarily themselves that motivates them. It could be their
Mm-hmm.
family. It could be something else that they love more than
Mm-hmm.
themselves. You have to have a greater reason for why you do what you do to
Mm-hmm.
actually be that motivated or that driven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And some people have like kids or mother, whatever it is that's a button that you can push that they know that, man, this is the only thing that would drive me further than myself. Like I will go outside of myself for this person or for this or for that.
Yeah. That kind of brings me to one of my questions I was going to ask you, which is like, what was your biggest challenges in regards to playing overseas and just getting there?
I just I'm coming from a small school, not having big numbers, not being big, not being, like a big name, not being none of that. So the challenge now is, man, who's gonna take a risk on somebody that they don't know, somebody that have not played much or don't have the background that a lot of these big D1, D2 players come from. So now you have to fight against all the odds of not being who they are, and that's a challenge within themselves because most people, oh man, this guy, he's only 6 foot, if that, and he didn't come from a big school. We don't even know who he is. We don't even really know where he come from. So now they don't really know much about you, but all they going off is what they've seen or your resume and this and that. And now it's like, all right, now what's next? So now to even when you're there is another challenge to learn the language. If the language is different, learn the style of play is that's different. Understanding what the team want, what the players want, still trying to understand that stuff. There is so much more to just the game, even in the game, that a lot of people don't understand. Even off the court, what else can you do for the community? What can you do for the area that you're in? Because people look up to you, regardless if you want them to do or not, but they do.
Yeah. So you brought up one thing that I was curious about. Can you tell me about a little bit more about the language barriers that you kind of went through and try to how to navigate?
So even like I don't know Spanish, man. I should have took it, but I didn't take Spanish. Now I'm in, like when I was in Spain, I'm not speak. I know a few words, what I mean. I'm trying to learn from this and that, but coach might be saying a play or saying something in practice, and I'm just looking. And then one of my other teammates, he could speak English, so he would tell me. But if he don't tell me, I don't know what he's talking about. So I'm just sitting here like, you know what I mean? I don't know what he's saying. I'm just sitting there,
Yeah.
and people don't know. Man, he could be saying anything. You know what I mean? He could be saying anything, but I don't know. And even if he tell me, it might not be what he said. He might not want to tell me exactly what he said. So now, what can I do? You know, you just try to figure it out on the fly, or try to think that you know what he's talking about. You know, communication, the culture, everything is different. So, and a lot of people don't want to embrace the culture or learn from other people or learn in the place that they're going to be in for the next 6 months, however long it is.
So along with that, with the language barrier being like a challenge, was there any other challenges you saw, like competition wise or anything, going from playing here in the States and then going over overseas to play basketball? Is it any different in the game or anything like that?
So like over here is a lot of like one-on-one and stuff like that. But like in Europe, it's a lot of it's system basketball. You know, it's like when you see the Spurs playing basketball, that's how they play in Europe. You know, but in other teams they one-on-one. You know, space the offense out and let one player dribble. I might make a move, dribble. I might shoot. But over there, it's pass, cut, drop, kick, pass, cut, drop, kick. Keep going until we get a great shot, not a good shot. You know what I mean? I got in trouble my first time over there. I'm wide open. I'm wide open for three. Cash. Yeah. Sub. Pull me right out of the game.
Man.
He said we have to pass the ball so many times. You know, we have to get so many paint touches before, we're allowed to take a shot. I'm like, but I was open and I made it. Like it don't matter,
I'll be like, it do matter.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, wow. I'm like, what is going on? I made the shot and I was open.
Yeah.
I see if I wasn't open or if I missed, but I made it and I was open.
Yeah.
But the system is you got to learn it.
I respect that. Speaking of learning, so like what's how's your training been like during COVID right now, during this time?
Oh man. So right now, I work out twice a day. I'm usually up at like 5 in the morning. In the morning I'm usually doing weights and stuff. And in the evening I'm usually shooting. I'm getting up at least 200 to, I don't know, a lot, 200, more than 200, but between 300 to 500 shots a day. And then trying to get some cardio in on top of that. So Mondays through Fridays, I'm at least 2 days from 5 in the morning. I'm usually up and in the gym by like 6, and I do the weights so far. Then after that, I come back to the gym later and do skill work and stuff of that nature. Just trying to stay sharp, trying to still work on other stuff that I might not be as good at, but still working on those things that I know that the team going to want me to do or see that this is what he's good at. So he's good at shooting. I still got to be able to shoot, but also want to be able to maybe run the point guard at a higher clip, being able to find different players, being able to penetrate the defense even more, getting in the open lanes, finishing through contact and things of that nature.
I know earlier you mentioned how you watched a lot of film. You started consuming basketball at a different clip, at a different rate. What was there any favorite player that you like to watch that you just had to pop in that they film just to go back and watch?
So now, so back then when I was just like a shooter, just trying to learn how to shoot for defense, when I was in college, it was just Danny Green. I watched a lot of Danny Green. Like he was like the guy I watched all the time. Danny Green. Everything was Danny Green. I'm talking Spurs. Yeah, so when I was in college, that's all I used to watch. Danny Green, how he moved without the basketball. How he was always ready. No no matter what the situation was. On the offensive end, he was a guy who spread the floor out. You know, so when Tony Parker drived, he knew when to kick up, when to kick, when to slide down. Wherever Tony Parker was, he knew where he should be at to just be an outlet, just in case Tony Parker or Ginobili or Tim Duncan, you know, they were stuck or triple team or double team to kick the ball out and knock it down. But then as I got older and started to, you know, expand my game, I started to watch guys like Jamal Murray and Damian Lillard and Steph Curry just to being able to be a point guard, but also being able to score and do other things on the floor. So just guys like that, I really, you know, I watch a lot. Even now, like Prairie Land Street, somebody who's short, somebody who came and beat the odds, somebody who wasn't drafted, somebody who, you know, who did what wasn't possible, but he made it possible. You know, he took his role and worked and worked and worked and worked regardless of the circumstances, because he believed in himself enough to say, "Man, I'm that good," you know.
I love it. Love to hear that the inspiration and just watching other players just learn and how you can just crack your game by just watching and then always being in the gym every day. You said in the morning doing your weights, in the evening you're doing your workouts and stuff, and kind of just switching gears with that. So I know we know you have a clothing brand, Work by Faith. I'm currently wearing one of the shirts right now. Can't go by without mentioning it here in the podcast today, but I see you have one. So, what kind of inspired you to start your own clothing line and your own little brand?
Well, when I was in Vietnam, one of my teammates actually he had a clothing brand, but he was like, you know, he was talking to me about it. Me personally, I wasn't really paying it on mine. I was like, all right, cool. He said, bro, let's sit down and just try to come up with some stuff. You know what I mean? So we sat down. In my mind, I'm thinking like, God, I'm not really into this, or I'm not really, you know, taking it that seriously. You know what I mean? So he's still going on. He said, "Well, what do you want it to be?" I said, "Well, it got to be something with some faith, because that's the main part for me. Like, without my faith, I'm not nothing. You know, everything that I am is because of what I believe and what's been instilled in me to have faith. When, you know, most people don't see what you see, so therefore they can't have the faith that you have. So that's been a key factor for me. So with all that, you know, he's coming up with stuff. So I said faith has to be in there, and he's going through, and I wrote so much stuff down on the paper. I still got the paper. I wrote some stuff down. Nothing made sense at that point in time. But then he came and he was like, "Well, what about that?" And he's like, "Work by faith." Like, yo, that do sound all right. And then he came up with he said, what would I said? He put like wings and stuff, like the logo we can see now. He like scribbled it together. But then it didn't even come together until like last year. So it took about 2 years for it I start actually, you know, moving towards it. So that's really how it all came together. But even now it's still coming more and more together. So just trying to learn more about the business and just trying to expand it and make it better and actually get people to understand that, you know, when I say work by faith, it is something that some people may look at it as a brand, but for me, it's a lifestyle. You know, my faith is who I am, and faith without works is dead. So anything that you try to accomplish that you want to do in life, you know, first of all, you must have some work behind it. You know, you have to put some work into it to accomplish anything great. Anything great, they have to work hard in it, you know? And then they have the faith to believe that, man, this hard work that I'm putting in, it is going to reap that which I put in, you know? So all that stuff works together, because without one or the other, nothing's going to happen. You know, when you have a key to unlock a door, but yet the key is wrong, it won't fit, it's not going to lock. But yet, if you had the right key to unlock the right door, then it works together. They excite with each other. You know, faith without works is dead. It won't work. So therefore, we must have the faith to believe it and the work to go along with it, and then they can produce something for you.
Yeah, you preaching. I'm about to get up and run up on the chair in a minute. You better stop, man.
I'm just letting it go. I'm just trying to help whoever gonna watch this and whoever gonna see this. To, maybe catch on to some faith and catch on to some hope. That's it, man.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. So my other question for you is, how have you been able to give back to the community right now?
Well, even in summertime, even like now, even like when I'm working out and stuff, or like kids always around. Actually, right now, I'm actually helping with a camp at the YMCA. I think it's been like 6 weeks. I think they got one more week left. We actually running an hour camp for the kids like 6 to 12 years old right now. Then before then, I was helping out with All Kids Matter, helping all kids just get out the house because of COVID and all this stuff that was going on. So we was just trying to help kids get out the house and do something active with their life, with themselves while school wasn't in, and they ain't had nothing to do but play video game all day, and that's no good neither.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to even now with like my t-shirts and stuff, I'm trying to do some more stuff to help maybe get some scholarships and stuff for the youth and things of that nature to make a difference, man. Because it's just a lot of people who want kids who inspire to do things, but yet they don't know how, or they don't know that they're capable of, or nobody actually believes in them to tell them that, man, you could be that, or you can do that. It's always, oh, you can't do that. You know what I mean? They always feed them negativity. So therefore they don't become who they could be. So they wind up in jail or in the streets or something like that because somebody else didn't tell them what they could have told them to accomplish whatever they wanted to accomplish. Kids dream, and as you get older, you stop dreaming. And the problem is, once you stop dreaming, you tell other people that they can't dream. And that ain't right. That's not cool because somebody else that you didn't live your dream. So you try to put your non-dreams on somebody else who still can dream. Once you stop dreaming, you stop living.
Yeah, that can preach too, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's deep, man. It's really deep.
And dreams is reality.
It is.
Once you dream it, it is possible.
Yeah.
Got a lot of wisdom. Got a lot of wisdom coming out here in this episode.
Yeah, just trying to help the folks, fellas. Just trying to help just trying to help somebody. Whether you're young or old, you could always,
you can always use that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Some people think they're too old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too old to accomplish their dream. They may think that, and that might not be so.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with you, man. But yeah, that so that kind of concludes our first portion of the Capturing the Game podcast. So now we're going to move into our next segment. It's our rapid fire segment. So we just kind of going we're just shooting off so questions, right? Just so fun questions, just out there type questions. We have a game that me and Brady play where we have these like predefined answers that we think people are gonna say. Yeah. And it's like we have like a scoreboard going with each other. So it's like the game within the game. So it's a game that me and Brady play based off the answers that you say. So you ready for it?
I'm ready. All
right. Here we go. So our first question, you have a chance to either have Ray Allen or Reggie Miller on your team. Who are you picking?
Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. Is there anything specific or
nope? Who you want on your team?
This one is tough, but because this guy, he don't get a credit that he's due, so I'm gonna go with Reggie Miller. Because, man, he had the edge to him, a lot of edge to him. He didn't back down. He was smooth, but he was a killer. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Reggie on that one. It's hard to go against Ray, man, but I'm gonna take Reggie Miller on that one.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stick in that same line of category. So are you picking Dame or Jamal Murray?
Whoo! I gotta go with Damian Lillard on this one.
Okay.
Uh, I don't. I want. I'm gonna say easily, just because Damian Lillard his rap sheet is much longer. And just to the simple fact that, man, he's been doing it at a high clip for a while. Even when he comes from a small school, he really not supposed to be there compared to what everybody had said beforehand. And to be to do what he's done with the Portland Trail Blazers, it's been fun to watch. He does it in the playoffs when it matters, or he does it when big moments when it really matters. He shows up when when people usually back down from those things. Man, he lives for them. He don't matter what it is. Damian Lillard lives for big moments. And even if he comes short, the next night he gonna come back bigger.
Yeah.
So I love the dog and Damian.
Yeah. So I got one more kind of basketball related question. Are you taking Yao Ming or Dwight Howard?
See, this one is it just depends on where we at with that one. Because I mean, Dwight Howard, when he first came, or a couple of years after, he was a force to be reckoned with. But I'm gonna go with
you can get either one in their prime.
Yao Ming was tough too, and he was going to get Shaq. I'm gonna go with Yao just because he was going to get Shaq, and he gave Shaq a little bit of trouble at times. So, and Dwight probably even gave Shaq no trouble. So, I'm just off that.
Okay,
I love it. Switching from the basketball questions. So, who I would know your father's big into kickboxing. Who do you think would win, you or your dad?
Oh, that's not even close. He probably don't even got it. He can have that one.
not even a shot. You don't think you could try it?
I mean, listen, man. I do, but I don't put these things to use like I used to, and he's still at it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him have it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say he can have it anyway, just for the record.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you always said for that mentality. I know you think in your mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right. So, are you picking TV shows or movies?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with probably movies, man, because I'm not big on TV shows unless it's like Martin. That's about it. That's about it. That's about it.
Okay. I say I'm a TV show person just because of the fact that there's more content in TV shows than there is.
Yeah. So. I mean, but I guess for me, like the movie, if it's like a movie that you haven't seen, then you don't really know. But and then TV shows, like I don't know, I'm not big on TV anyway, but it just, man, it goes on and on and on, and sometimes they try to expand it even further and it get worse. Well, here's a new episode. Here's a new this. Here's a new that. You know what I mean? They keep going and going. They like at season 20, and they was finished at 10. The best parts was at 10, and they gave you 10 more that you don't want to see, but you watch it because we can add more onto it. Then they change characters, bring this person in and that person in, and the main character's going that was in the first part.
That's very true. I know I'm also big on the TV show too, just to see more episodes as well. But movies are up there as well. So going on, what is one of your favorite Bible verses that if you like?
This one hard, man. This one is tough, man. You put me on the spot with this one, man, because I mean, I could easily go. I'm gonna just go with faith without works is dead, just simply because, and because it can cover everything right now. Because faith faith is the most important element, right? Without faith, it's impossible to please him. So here we have, faith and works, and that stuff always can combine. You can combine them too, or whatever way you want. But with faith, we give opportunity for him to do things that are impossible to man's eye, right? If you had the faith of the size of mustard seed, you could speak to the mountain and tell the mountain to move, right? With that is more credible. But he also said, I gave every man a measure of faith according to what he believes. So our faith and what we believe can cause our life to change in so many ways, but yet we don't realize it. We don't really understand how deep it really is. We quote a lot of verses and we say a lot of things, but we don't really know the depth of it because we don't really understand it fully. He said, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence is not seen. So our faith that we have now is for the things that we cannot see, but yet we hope for them. So all those things that we hope for and that we believe in for, we can't see them, but if we have the faith for them, we can have them.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but yet
it goes so far.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I do got one more basketball question for you.
All right, come with it.
All right. So say you get a chance to take over any basketball organization, who do you choose?
Woo! Man. So I'm gonna break this down. I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Kobe Bryant diehard fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because I like the Warriors so much, I'm gonna just go with the Warriors at this point in time today.
Okay.
Just because,
okay.
just because.
Okay, I respect that. There's nothing wrong with that. I love the Warriors even before got there. I just love their uniforms, like the uniforms and their logo was sick.
He said, I just love the uniform.
It was one of the coldest. I can run with them uniforms. Give me a good set of uniforms, and I'm good.
You could.
All you need. Well, I think that's wrapping up the that portion of this podcast today. So if the viewers and listeners listening today, can they find you, Charles? Like social media, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Facebook at Charles Baines, Instagram at Chuck Baines 5, and Twitter at blessed_above21. And that's all I have for right now.
Right. Gotcha. We really enjoyed having you on. And listeners, you guys can go and follow us at Capturing Pod on Twitter, capturing _ game _ pod on Insta. You can also find us on Capturing the Game podcast. You can find us on Facebook as well. And we'd like to thank you. Thank you for coming on, and I'd like to thank Desmond for joining me today. And we're just thankful for this conversation we had with you guys today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for all the knowledge and the bars you dropped today.
Oh, man, no problem, man. I hope it helps somebody. That's all.
Oh, yeah, definitely someone's going to be blessed. That's for sure.